We had a dry start to the day, but the wet weather is here. Take a look at this time lapse as drenching rain soaks downtown Norfolk. It's causing some problems in Portsmouth too. Look at the roads here. Our photographer just came back with this video of flooding around Turnpike Boulevard. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Philip Townsend. We're going to start with weather tonight. The heavy rain is actually prompting a flood advisory in several cities. Let's get straight to meteorologist Evan Stewart. Hey, Evan.
That's right, and a flash flood warning for parts of Norfolk, Chester.
Thank you, Evan. Let's stay on weather for a minute. Take a look at this video here. This is from Catherine Morrison. She sent this in from Ocean View. Look at all those bands of rain pelting Ocean View Avenue. It's messy out there. And right now the weather is forcing officials to delay opening the doors for tonight's Wiz Khalifa concert. That's at the Virginia Beach Amphitheater. No word yet on when they'll reopen. Stay ahead of the storm with the 13 News Now app. We're sending out severe weather alerts as we get them. It's free in your app store. Now to Charlottesville now. It's a day to remember and reflect nearly 1 year after those violent rallies.
I'd like to start by recognizing those who lost their lives 1 year ago. Heather Heyer, Trooper Pilot Peter Burke Bates, and Lieutenant Pilot Jay Cullen.
That's UVA President-elect James Ryan reflecting on last year's deadly Unite the Right rally. In downtown Charlottesville, the anti-fascist group Antifa marched in honor of Heather Heyer. She was the woman killed when a man drove his car into a group of protesters during last year's violent rally. 13 News Now is keeping you covered from Charlottesville to Washington, D.C., where they're bracing for another Unite the Right rally this weekend. We're going to begin tonight with Daria Albinger in Charlottesville.
1 year after a deadly white nationalist rally, the city of Charlottesville under a state of emergency, taking extra precautions, police blocking off streets and mobilizing hundreds of officers, preparing for Sunday's events.
You will not replace us.
After being criticized for his reaction to the violence in Charlottesville last year, the president tweeting this morning, the riots in Charlottesville a year ago resulted in senseless death and division. We must come together as a nation. I condemn all types of racism and acts of violence. Peace to all Americans. As authorities prepare for any possible violence this year, a gathering of an anti-fascist group made its way peacefully through downtown Charlottesville. And the University of Virginia hosted an event to bring people together.
We gather here today because we are sure that light will conquer darkness.
Members of the UVA and Charlottesville communities from around the world. Speaking at the event, Susan Bro also there. Her daughter, 32-year-old Heather Heyer, killed in those riots 1 year ago.
We're trying to make the world a better place and either get on board or get out of the way.
On Sunday, she will be standing with many of the same people her daughter marched with last year. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Now to D.C. The district is also bracing for a new round of protests planned by Unite the Right. The group says 400 people will rally tomorrow at Lafayette Square. That's just steps away from the White House. They're expected to be greeted by at least 1,000 counter-protesters. 13 News Now reporter Adriana Diallo picks up our team coverage live from Lafayette Park.
Tomorrow's Unite the Right rally is set to take place here at Lafayette Park in front of the White House. Multiple counter-protest groups are planning to march to this area. That's why D.C. police say they have a plan put in place to keep the groups completely separate. They say they've planned months in advance ahead of tomorrow's rally. The main goal is to make sure people don't get hurt and property isn't damaged. Guns are banned at this rally, even for people that have a legal permit. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has activated the city's Emergency Operations Center, which gives law enforcement the green light to deploy any and all of the resources they need to keep the city safe. Law enforcement has refrained from giving any specific security details, and this is to prevent anyone with bad intentions to plan ahead. During a press conference this week, D.C. Police Chief Newsham emphasized local law enforcement is prepared to handle anything that happens this weekend.
We consider every eventuality, and we have a counter move for every move that any group could make sure, and the ultimate goal, and I said it over and over again, is to make sure that everybody can participate in this event safely.
And there are some counter-protesters here already, but police presence is here. They're circling the area. Tomorrow, it could be that more people show up than originally anticipated, but law enforcement says they're prepared for that to happen. Live in D.C., Adriana de Alba, 13 News Now.
Thank you, Adriana, live in D.C. for us tonight. She's going to keep us updated from the district all weekend long. In between newscasts, you can get the latest information online and on the free 13 News Now app. All right, back here at home, we've got some breaking news in Portsmouth for you. Police are on the scene of an armed robbery at the CVS on Frederick Boulevard. Investigators tell 13 News Now around 4:15, someone with a gun walked in and held up the store. Nobody's been hurt, but police are still looking for that person. We're going to keep you updated as soon as we get new information.
I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
New air traffic control tapes from that stolen plane crash out of Seattle. We'll tell you what they reveal next. We're back live over SeaTac Airport. Things are back to normal now after a scare in the air there yesterday. Investigators say an airline mechanic stole an Alaska Airlines plane, you may have heard about this, and did mid-air stunts with it. Fighter jets were scrambled from Portland, making the 170-mile trip in less than 10 minutes. It all came to an end when that plane crashed on an island in the Puget Sound. It flattened trees and sparked a wildfire. Clayton Sandell has the all-new air traffic control tapes.
The flames still burning Saturday after a stolen plane crashed into the woods of Ketron Island, 25 miles from Seattle-Tacoma Airport. The drama unfolding at the airport Friday night.
We are diligently investigating this matter. We will get to the bottom of it. We're doing so with a long list of partners right now.
Sources tell ABC News the rogue pilot was 29-year-old Richard Russell, a baggage handler with Horizon Airlines. He is not a pilot, but managed to steal the plane before taking off around 7:30 p.m.
I just kind of want to do a couple maneuvers, see what it can do before I put her down.
Last night's event is going to push us to learn what we can from this tragedy so that we can ensure this does not happen again.
Fighter jets scrambling from Portland to intercept the plane, while people on the ground recorded the alarming aerobatics.
He was able to take the aircraft and get it airborne, and we do know that he was in communication with air traffic control.
Air traffic controllers guiding him away from populated areas, hoping to help him land.
I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
This guy obviously had no prior training. He was not a pilot. He wanted to do one last hurrah before he ended his life.
About 90 minutes after takeoff, the plane crashes on a small island.
I got a lot of people that care about me. It's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them.
Russell did not survive the fiery crash. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Seattle.
Crazy sad story there. All right, Evan's tracking more rain heading towards Hampton Roads. The full forecast, minutes away. Rain and flooding already taking its toll here in Norfolk. You may know this spot, a common problem spot in Norfolk, 21st Street and Colley Avenue, that underpass. Two cars you can see there submerged. Windshield wipers still on in one of them. This must have happened in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Just crazy out there. That spot is always flooding. Make sure, we say this a lot, but if you don't have to be driving in these conditions, Evan, I mean, obviously you don't want to be out right now.
Right, and if you can't see the lines on the road, don't drive through the water. That's just the way it is, because it doesn't take much to flood the car, and especially those underpasses, you just don't realize how deep they...
To nothing in that contest.
Just minutes ago, we showed you that video of the underpass, 21st Street and Colley, almost filled up. Expecting maybe a little more of that, at least for a little while.
Right, we still got the moderate rain across parts of Hampton Roads. The heaviest of the rain now is across the peninsula, working its way to the north and east, but we still have some thunderstorms in northeastern North Carolina. Things will wind down after sunset, but once again tomorrow we could see these heavier downpours in the afternoon and evening. High temperature of 87 degrees.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks for watching. We're going to have more from D.C., the Unite the Right rally, and more on weather coming up at 11. We'll see you then.
Attention RVers, the summer's